What's good, YouTube? It's your man, Ronin, Agent 317, better known as Ronin. And salute to the A-Game family, A-Game Nation. You already know what scan that. Use the code Ronin10, and that's your key to get into the A-Game lifestyle. We're talking about getting the best out of your vitality, energy, focus, and libido. It is a lifestyle. This is about principles. We're talking about SOS, systems, order, and structure, the 10 life values. So I send a shout out to my A-Game family and those who are new to it. And today's lesson is going to dispel a myth, because there's been an international miscalculation on a term. I'm going to say there is no such thing as an educated lame, and I'm going to break down why. Let's start with the definition, because I did take my notes. We're going to use the root word because although the manosphere originally was not founded on this has been one of the outstanding roots of what's been within that space before it actually became legitimized. So, lame by definition, especially of an animal, unable to walk away without difficulty as a result of an injury or illness affecting the leg or foot. Similar, limping, hobbling, incapacitated, debilitated, infirm, deformed, maimed, defective, gammy, halt, awkward, stupid, opposite, able-bodied. We'll get to that in a minute. Second definition of something intended to be entertaining, uninspiring and dull. Put a pin on that. Explanation of an explanation or excuse, unconvincingly feeble. Put another one there. Similar, feeble, weak. North American, naive or socially inept. I think you see where I'm going. We'll continue. Number 3, averse or metrical feat. Halting, metrically defective. And I'll continue. Inadequate, annoying, not funny, or a loser. And here is the reason why we have misappropriated the term. There is no such thing as an educated lame. What I will suggest is you start calling individuals who are committed to this lifestyle or being a prisoner of perspective regimented lames. Now, the definition of regimented is to be strictly controlled, strictly organized, or controlled. As a military man, I know what it means to be regimented. We get up at butt crack 30, talking about 5 o'clock, where you hear the horns blasting. We're out there doing PT. We get out to the day, eat chow. We get to do the duties of the day. And if we're not in the field, we get off damn near 4 or 5, or whenever we're done, whatever. And we do whatever recreation time, or if it's the weekend, we get our weekend time off. It's regimented to where your clock is automatic set. You know who's also regimented? Prisoners. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, of course, there's been some bitching and griping about an actual black man who invested his money, time, and resources into purchasing this space. So, my question is, for those who want to cling to this title of educated lame, after you've heard the definition, after you've seen the immobility that has been shown within the 14 years I've been here since 2007, can anyone hope to take you seriously when you actually cripple yourself with a label that is actually an outright contradiction? A regimented lame will continue to take his little pile of bullshit and scuttle his goofiness over to panels or into public settings without addressing it. A regimented lame will justify any means unnecessary to nurture, nurse, and feed his demons, ones he needs to exercise for himself to be his better self. A regimented lame likes to be in the company of individuals who refuse to execute, perfect, and actually promote emotional intelligence and discernment. Some of us need a spiritual enema. When I went through my goofy shit, when I made an emotional decision to move from here, Indianapolis, to Los Angeles into a clusterfuck, got thrown out over something stupid, end up being homeless because of me choosing to follow my heart foolishly without using my head. And then deciding to jump into another situation, leaving Los Angeles when I was starting to get my start back together and going to Houston in the pursuit of puppy love, trying to turn a relationship into a relationship. And it got to the point where I had a scar where I shouldn't even be talking because a metal pallet punctured my head and I had a scar to prove it. An individual who I allowed to push me to the brink where I could have been in legal trouble or worse. Had I stayed committed to that dysfunctional cycle, I would have no choice but to admit I was a regimented lame because I was committed to the chaos and the confusion. Married to mediocrity and monkey shit. See, in this space, we promote systems, order, and structure, accountability, promoting brothers to get outside of their comfort zone, which will ultimately become your coffin if you are not careful. This is why I salute my brothers and the sisters who are about forward progress, because you cannot call yourself an educated lame if you did not learn the lessons that got you in those situations, became better, and it actually married the term of lame. That doesn't make any sense. To be lame is to be broken, remain broken. Any chance you get to heal, you'll intentionally hurt yourself or get so addicted to the pain that you know nothing else. You wouldn't know what to do if you didn't feel it. See, when I had knee surgery, at least the first of 3, I had in my head like, you know what? I'm going to sit there and walk this off. So I did the surgery. I didn't give a shit. I didn't want the cortisone shot, but they gave me one anyway, which led to the surgery, which pissed me off. But when I got out the surgery, and yes, I lay down for a few days or whatever, and I felt, you know what? I'm going to be cool. When I got out the bed and they gave me the crutches, first the crutches were awkward. And knowing that they were awkward, I didn't want to become dependent on them because they were uncomfortable. They put me in positions that I did not want, and it hurt. And I knew when I fell down, I had to sit down and actually learn how to heal, learn how to rethink things. So I threw away my crutches and I went to look for a cane. And over time, in that healing process, I learned how to get the strength in my knee in order to maneuver around better. I used the wall if I needed to. I limit my mobility in order to heal properly. I use this as an example because in the time I've been in this space, there's too many individuals who cling to the title of lame and somehow in some bizarro type world believe they're supposed to be grandfathered into some panties, power, or respect. And nobody respects a pussy. An intentional one at that. Now, I get why brothers are doing what they do as a response to the atmosphere that's being treated out here in the world. We told men years ago, you got to vote with your feet. If they don't respect your space, if they're not worth the time, toil, trouble, or threat, get the fuck away from them. That's why I get, where a lot of these groups have been manifested. You're talking about MRAs, which we do need to fight for our rights. We do need to put back the stamp of and respect on what masculinity is. It's not toxic, it's a necessity. There's too many old flimsy types of individuals who are misappropriating these spaces and putting others in danger inherently. But that's a whole nother conversation. I don't accept the term or the religion of being lame, because if that's what you cling to, then you're looking face to face at the outright devout atheists of that religion. This is what I say to the educated lames who cling to that title. It's not out of disrespect. It is a blatant indifference to claiming something that we are not. Black men created a lot of these things. You're talking about the internet. You're talking about the fucking heart surgery, changing how we live our lives as people. And to sit here and champion lame, brokenness, failure, I say one brother to many. That is outright bullshit. Usually I watch my language, but again, this offends me to the core because, again, I like to see my brothers win. I did hide in the house and try to keep myself from the world, but I needed that time to heal up. I wasn't fit to be jovial or even hang around people in that capacity because I was shattered. And I had to take that time to heal and mend myself. I'm still healing, but I'm a lot better than I was before. This is what I promote with my brothers. Even using comedy as a crutch. Because when you go through certain things, you have to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to laugh. I had to learn how to treat myself. I had to learn how to appreciate my time. I had to learn how to associate with people. Learn how to navigate in this world. That's why I throw the middle finger up to this whole educated lane notion, because it's an outright lie. Because having been here in this space for 14 years, where have you shown me that we have learned shit from our bullshit? Please educate me on that. If we're going to call it, let's call it down the middle. If you're committed to that lifestyle, instead of working to get your health right, working on the 10 life values, working on about SOS, working to put more weight on your name and demand respect, not being these mules of convenience and put up with goofiness. You have to refer yourself as a regimented lane because you're committed to the cycle of stupidity. But if that's not what you are, if you're proud of being intelligent, if you're proud of being charismatic, if you're proud of being a man of principles, purpose, and forward progression, then I encourage my brothers to break the yoke of stupidity and never call yourself an educated lane. Because that's F-19 bullshit. And I see that we're much more than that. There's brothers I know that are great at what they do. That's why I go to the gym and I learn how to run my own race. There are some guys who are out there cock diesel, but some of them are on that shit. Some of them had to cheat to get where they are. And you can tell, because when you start embracing who you are and mastering that, you start to see the world in a different way. Just like Neo starts seeing code, you start seeing people that seem like they got it all, really don't. And my whole thing about the regimented part is, how are you going to let some chicks that might be easy on the eyes, but she sleeps on a pallet, and she's gone to Bath and Body Works and smells like pee and roach spray, dictate to you how you live your life, or should? How are you going to let some chucklehead tax you for your time and you accept that? See, as men, we're kinetic. We make shit move. And in this space, I have not seen not many individuals move the needle one iota. Then that's unsatisfactory. I'm proud of who I'm around, where I'm going, and how I elevated from where I came from. Because if I stayed in that cycle, I would not be here today. Some of our brothers have fallen because they saw no other way. They seen the atmosphere in this space like, you know what? If this is all there is, then this is the way out. And I'm not going to say the word, but you know where I'm getting. So we have to take pride in who we were meant to be. Learn how to talk to each other, speak life into each other as brothers. That's what's supposed to happen. That's what I pride myself into. I'm in an occupation where I can do that, where they leave out of my presence much better than they went in. And I'm going to make a point because I don't have children of my own. I do have nephews and nieces. They are going to learn about the 10 life values. They're going to learn about SOS. And I took it upon myself to lead by example because I'm sick and tired of watching from the sidelines a lot of these olders throwing their adult diapers around, still chasing chicks online, doing all this juvenile antics, which really is hurting our appearance value as men. You don't have the audacity to demand respect and you do some irreputable shit. So there is no such thing as an educated lane, because if that's what you're saying, and take a look at this space was before it was actually legitimized. Prove me wrong. That being said, I'm going to get myself ready for another video possibly, but I got to work out today. But in closing, number one, never allow your comfort zone to become your coffin. And number two, learn how to appreciate who you are. Because if you train yourself to appreciate yourself, you'll expect nothing less. That will mirror outside in the world because you'll have standards. If they're going to be in your circumference, they have to pay a toll, which is out, pay for respect. If they do it respectfully, cool. If they don't, take you and your musty ass out there with you. And don't leave any fucking dust mites in my presence. So, I salute to you guys. And let's get out here and reclaim our place out here as respectable men. Let's get out here and redeem the time. Out here being internet Tinder dicks and worrying about pussy politics. Everything has its place. But to allow that to dominate your space and your time, who can respect that? The women can, I sure as shit can't. I might love seeing my brothers win, but if you're mired in mediocrity, I have to save myself and keep my distance. That's how you save yourself. You start spiritually and everything will follow in suit. But until then, I'm out you guys later. Peace.